Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins are a duo that doesn't get enough attention, and I've got a good reason for saying that. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs this season, their offense has been improving, especially since Hollywood Brown returned. But there are two players we haven't really talked about enough: Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, Travis Kelce hasn't been in the spotlight as much lately, and there's a reason for that. He hasn't been putting up the same numbers we're used to seeing. Let's be real. At 34 years old, he's not going to put up 1,000 yards every season like he used to. But make no mistake, Travis Kelce is still a top-tier player, and when the playoffs come around, he's going to shine. We all know he's the kind of player who lives for those big moments, and when it matters most, Kelce delivers. You can count on it. Even if you're a Chiefs hater, you know Kelce and Mahomes are going to step up in the postseason. Now, add DeAndre Hopkins to the mix, and suddenly you have a different kind of hunger on the field. I'm not saying Travis Kelce isn't hungry, but Hopkins is playing for something extra, his first ever Super Bowl ring. That's a big deal. Hopkins is going to pour everything he has into this playoff run, because for him, it's all about chasing that ring. Especially at this stage of his career, you know he's going to give it his all: blood, sweat, and tears. The reason I'm highlighting Kelce and Hopkins as a duo, rather than Mahomes with Kelce or Hopkins with another player, is because they share a similar role on the field. Both of them excel with short, quick routes, those 5-yard catches where they find soft spots in the defense and then turn it into 10 or 15 extra yards. That's their bread and butter. And when you have both of them on the field, it's going to make the Chiefs' offense incredibly hard to stop. With guys like Kelce, Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, and Rashee Rice all on the field at the same time, opposing defenses are going to have a tough time keeping up. The Chiefs' offense is going to be tough to handle in the playoffs, and Kelce and Hopkins will be at the heart of it. Defenses are really going to have their hands full. You've got to worry about Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown stretching the field with those deep routes. They're dangerous deep threats for sure. But it's not just those two you have to keep an eye on. You've also got Hopkins and Kelce working the short to intermediate routes, picking up yards with quick catches, and turning them into big gains. It's a nightmare for defenders because every player on the field can hurt you in different ways. And let's not forget about Mahomes and Andy Reid. They love to get creative with plays, throwing in some tricks and surprises that keep defenses guessing. This offense is going to be hard to stop in the playoffs, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Looking ahead, I can see the Chiefs coming out strong against teams like the Houston Texans. They could easily build a big lead early and make a statement, dominating from the start. And let's not forget, Mahomes was snubbed from the Pro Bowl this year. In my opinion, he deserved that spot, especially considering how he's led the team to such a great record. It's crazy that Mahomes didn't get any All-Pro votes and wasn't selected for the Pro Bowl. That's got to be frustrating for him. I'm sure it's bothering him, but instead of letting it bring him down, it's probably going to make him play even better. Patrick Mahomes is the type of player who thrives when he has something to prove. You also have to remember, Mahomes has had to deal with a lot this season. Losing your top 2 receivers before the season even starts is tough. Losing your number 1 guy after just 3 games? That's not easy to bounce back from. But for Mahomes to keep the Chiefs in contention and lead them to the top of the AFC? That's impressive. The Chiefs are healthy now, and they're in a great position to make a deep playoff run. They really deserve it after everything they've been through. This is why I say it's going to be really tough to stop this team. With Hopkins and Kelce working the short and intermediate routes, and guys like Worthy and Hollywood stretching the field deep, this offense is loaded. It's going to make for one exciting playoff run. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. The Houston Texans' defense did look solid against the Chargers, but they won't be able to replicate that success against us. Playing in a dome is nothing like playing in Arrowhead. The atmosphere is completely different. When you're in the freezing cold, it's a whole new challenge. Sure, the Chiefs are used to it, but it's going to rattle rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud and the Texans. They're not going to be prepared for the noise and pressure of playing in Arrowhead, especially in the playoffs. Arrowhead is one of the toughest places to play. The freezing temperatures, the deafening crowd, it's a hostile environment, and it's going to be tough for Stroud to handle. He's still a young quarterback, and the pressure will get to him. I'm expecting him to throw some interceptions, just like we've seen other quarterbacks struggle in Arrowhead this season. Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, they've all had rough games in that environment. Stroud is going to have a tough time too, probably throwing multiple picks. And when that happens, the Chiefs will dominate and win that game easily. Looking ahead, if we face the Baltimore Ravens, I think we match up well against them too. It's going to be a tough game, no doubt, especially with the Ravens adding Derrick Henry to their roster. But I still believe the Chiefs will beat the Ravens and then head to the Super Bowl, where I think they'll take down the Lions. That's my prediction for the rest of the season. But here's the thing. This Chiefs offense is scary, and what makes it even scarier is that no one has film on this offense with all the key players healthy. The Chiefs offense has dealt with injuries for a big part of the season, so defenses haven't had the chance to study Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, and DeAndre Hopkins all on the field together. That's a huge advantage for the Chiefs. I honestly think the NFL is in trouble. The only way the Chiefs could lose is if a key player gets injured, but we're not even going to put that out there. With the way this offense is clicking, I just don't see anyone stopping them. The difference between the Chiefs and the other teams is that this offense is absolutely terrifying. Kelce and Hopkins are going to go nuclear in the playoffs, and with players like Worthy and Hollywood Brown stretching the field, it's going to be too much for any defense to handle. Teams are going to struggle against this Chiefs offense, and I can see them running through the competition.